Hey, Keith Townsend, Principal of the CTO Advisor. Welcome to another CTO Dose on the road on the CTO Advisor road trip. Stu, this is a change of pace.
Yeah, Keith, welcome to Massachusetts.
One, I'm in Massachusetts, and two, I'm interviewing you. I don't think this has ever happened. I don't think I've ever interviewed you.
Yeah, why was I never on your podcast or anything like that? I mean,
Yeah,
come on, Keith.
I'm not.
How many times did I have you on the program? Of
You
course,
had me
we,
on a
we, we,
pro.
we did lots of stuff with the cube
We
together.
we
So
did a lot of stuff on the cube together,
yeah, great to see you and Melissa and the beautiful Airstream and your traveling roadshow.
you know what? A kind couple right before we hit record came and helped me with the awning. You can't see the awning out of shot, but awnings and airstreams go hand in hand in like just the number one trouble with the rig. So you've been at Red Hat for 8 months. Tell me, how has becoming a Linux expert gone?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I failed at that piece. So yes, I joined back October 2020. Joined Red Hat. I'm in the cloud group. So yes, if you dig down underneath all of our software, Linux is there. It's hugely important. Red Hat's been doing that for multiple decades. But I personally wouldn't say I've gone any further on my Linux journey. My programming days are far beyond me. I did pick up my AWS CCP.
Nice.
Right around the time that I transitioned jobs, something that was just, you know how it is. It's like I've been meaning for years to do that, to actually get hands-on with the cloud. Figured if I talked about it for so many years, I should actually have
Osmosis.
gone in and used some of that. So that was fun to actually be able to play and do some hands-on piece. But no, I'm on the cloud group. My title is Director of Market Insights. Been having a lot of fun with that team, our customers, the ecosystem, which I know real well.
So we're going to get some insights from you on the show. I've morphed from, and I don't want to focus too much on Kubernetes because Kubernetes, like Linux, will eventually disappear. I want to talk about the vision of when Kubernetes disappears and customers get the goodness of why IBM bought Red Hat, which is for cloud.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what vision are customers coming to you with, and where are you helping customers to see where the cloud will go?
Yeah, well, Keith, I like actually that you set it up with, like Linux, it will disappear. So Linux, of course, the foundation of what Red Hat does.
Right.
We made Linux for the enterprise, and still has a robust, thriving business where lots of people use it because, yes, there's lots of Linux out there,
Right.
but what is the trusted, used Linux by by customers out there? It is Red Hat Enterprise Linux.
And when I say disappear, I mean this is not something that we think about. We just take it for granted. Like when I deploy a new data center or a new set of services, I'm not generally deploying that on Windows Server or some other OS. It's Linux, and for me in the enterprise, it's going to be Red Hat Linux.
Yep.
Because why not?
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. And it is a perfect example because we've been working for years with the cloud providers to bring that RHEL across every environment. And I tell you, I personally even had the misconception of, okay, Kubernetes is going to be everywhere. It's going to be baked in. I shouldn't have to think about it. And the analogy is similar to what happened with Linux is, okay, who actually focuses on security? Who builds together the full offering and can make this a platform that really I can build and maintain my applications and do everything there? Well, that's a big focus of what we have at Red Hat, and we really feel is differentiated compared to what others do, which is, yeah, I've got Kubernetes, it's this thin layer, I do some other things, but it's just part of our overall, cloud or hypervisor or anything like that. We have a clear focus on what we're doing and have helped thousands of customers to deploy this because it really is, it's a message Red Hat's been having for over a decade. It's hybrid. And hybrid, it's funny, I actually went through this thought, I'd love your opinion on this, Keith, is, when you think about hybrid, you're like, hybrid was like the middle thing that I wasn't quite sure it was. Was this a halfway point? John Furrier from theCUbe used to say, is it a halfway house on your way to the public cloud? We know everything in IT is always additive. There's my data center, there's hosted environments, there's public cloud, there's SaaS. Edge is now growing massively. So when I look at my applications, when I look at my infrastructure, when I look at my teams and skill sets, all of those are hybrid today, and they're going to be even more hybrid in the future.
And I've talked to enough people now, and I've experienced this myself, that one, everything in enterprise IT is additive. It's going to be cloud and or Kubernetes, and uh, there is no point where there's not going to be hybrid. Take a snapshot in time from 5 years ago to now. One of the things I like to pick on, like the edge G folks who say you have to be all cloud all the time. Well, let's take a look at some people who built stuff 8 years ago. Are they re-platforming the stuff that they built 8 years ago on Lambda today? Or have they just moved forward and that they have the stuff that they built 8 years ago and the stuff that they're building today? They have this. They have all the things. So it's just a reality of the snapshot. I talked to the folks at Walmart Labs who were early OpenStack and deep OpenStack proponents, and I asked, "Well, where's your OpenStack?" And they said it's right here next to our Kubernetes stuff. It is that's about as hybrid as you can get.
Oh, and that Walmart team, by the way, I remember interviewing them years ago. You know what part of their stack too? It's global ZOS. That's where they were actually, their earliest container usage was on the mainframe. So you want to talk about that diversity? Yes, absolutely. I've got everything. I always joke, we support A to Z. That's your Azure and your AWS, all the way through your VMware and your Z series. So, all your latest, coolest new stuff, and more legacy environments. Absolutely.
So talk to me about hybrid. Like, what part of the CTO advisor hybrid infrastructure and that whole experiment is about making hybrid real. Like, I understand conceptually that I have my old stuff. I understand conceptually I have the new stuff. Some of that is going to be Kubernetes on premises. Some of it is going to be public cloud services. You're talking about your AWS certification. Like, in reality, where are customers landing? Where are they finding themselves in this hybrid journey?
Well, one of the challenges I've had, Keith, is we need to kind of get out of, for myself, and I know you've got some background on this, is kind of the infrastructure mindset.
Right.
It was, I built physical servers, I went to virtual machines, I started looking at containers. What do we need? I need my operations team, I need my development team, I need my security team. If we can give them some consistency where they live, that's going to go a long way. We know that the toughest thing moving from one environment to another is my skill sets, the tools that we're using. So, that's when we talk to customers, we talk about hybrid cloud, but what they care about is, my application stacks and what am I building new, what am I modernizing, what is staying the old way, and who has to manage that environment. How do I make sure that my developers have the agility they need so that they don't have to wait around for things? We can always move faster. And security. We need to have consistent security around the environments. Security is always, top of mind for customers, and, huge investment in this. So when you talk to the customers, they're all going through this transformation. You can say digital transformation or whatever you want, but it is, what does the business need and how does IT deliver on that, and going through and making sure that I can respond with new things, I can maintain what I have, and hopefully pulling some things forward at whatever pace that makes sense for that business, because sometimes it's I need to move really fast, and other times it's there are certain things that I can keep this way for a while, and therefore I just need to lower costs on it and keep my people going.
So last question. Red Hat, even the $34 billion that IBM paid for it, can't do this all by themselves. They can't take a customer on the full journey. Talk to me about the ecosystem and some of the most important partnerships.
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. And the high-level message for the company is open hybrid cloud. So of course, open source, core to what we do at Red Hat, and a big piece of that, it's community and that ecosystem. So there's open APIs, there's communities working on things. When we build in OpenShift, we always say its batteries are included but swappable. So if there's some storage solution you want that's not what we offer, absolutely you can use that. There's lots of places in the stack where you might choose a tool or solution outside of what we offer. When you talk about the most important partnerships, I have to start with the cloud providers. We've had a multi-year partnership with Microsoft. Those of us that have been around a while still, go like, wait, Microsoft
Right.
and Red Hat, on keynote stages together, shaking hands, doing all that. Hugely important. We've got lots of customers using our solution, which is in Azure, and Amazon. We've grown our partnership with AWS for many years. Earlier this year, we have the native, public cloud offering. It's AWS helped named it. It's Red Hat OpenShift service on AWS, or it's Rosa. I always joke, Rosa and Alexa are having a little chat here and there. So those are majorly important, as well as all the companies that are helping customers with those migrations and journeys. So the systems integrators, including, there's a very large service organization with a 3-letter word, paid $34 billion for Red. Oh yeah, IBM Global Services absolutely is a big piece. IBM, from a Red Hat standpoint, we always look at IBM as they're a very important partner, but one of the many that we work with. So the SIs like the Accentures, EYs, Deloitte's of the world, you know some of those folks.
I know some of those folks.
Yeah, so, and we're always looking to grow that ecosystem. Red Hat very much focused on the community, so more people that are going to contribute, create new projects or contribute to communities. We're always looking and supporting that kind of environment.
Stu, I appreciate you being on the CTO dose, coming all the way down to Normandy Farms. Actually, it wasn't that big of a thing for you. Just a couple of miles down the road is some type of sports ball team that won 2 or 3 championships. Stu will tell you about them on his Twitter feed at STU on the Twitters. If you want to learn more about the CTO Advisor and the CTO Advisor Road Trip, you can follow us on the web, thectoadvisor.com/road-trip. You want to DM me and challenge what either me or Stu brought up, or co-sign it. DMs are open at CTO Advisor on Twitter. Talk to you next CTO Dose.